Hi, in this tutorial we're going to import video into Pro Tools, and then I'll show you a little bit about how you can record a score against the video. So I'm going to start with creating a new project. So I'm going to go Command N, create 44.1, broadcast 32. I'm going to call this video score demo. I'm going to start by importing a video that I made earlier today when I was driving to campus along the River Road. So I go to File, Import Video, and it's this one here called Smokestack. It'll ask you some questions about what to do with the video when you import it. First of all, we want to create a new track to put the video on. If you already had a video track, you could just load it into the clip list. You may have some sound on your video that you want to include in this, dialogue or something. If you do, then click that box. In my case, I don't. It's just a video with no sound. So I'm going to hit OK. It'll make a track and bring up the video window, which I'm going to make really small so it doesn't distract from us. It looks a little bit like a regular audio track, but instead it has this video embedded on it. You'll notice over here in the regions list that the video is over here in the clips. So if I hadn't designated to have it create a track when I imported it, I could have gone to Command-Shift-N and created a video track and then dragged and dropped the video from the clips onto that video track. But I did it all in one time, so I didn't have to do that. But if you do it a different way, you can do that, just like an audio file. If you happen to accidentally or intentionally close the video window, it's up here under Window, Video. So you can bring it back. I'm going to add a MIDI track, a MIDI instrument track, so that I can just quickly make something against this to show you how it works. So I'm going to make an instrument track, stereo instrument track, hit Create. I'm going to go over to the Mix window. You'll notice that the video track does not show up in the mix window. So I'm going to insert an instrument. I'm going to insert Reactor 5. No, Reactor 6. I want to try the new one. There's this, so we haven't used Reactor yet. Reactor has some instruments that you can drag into the browser window here. So I'm going to use the Monarch, which is sort of a Moog kind of thing. Okay, to select a preset in Reactor, you go up here under, this one happens to be showing defined, but you'll see the little up and down arrow keys. If you click on it, the sound that I chose earlier that I liked is the neon delay. Now I have the Casio keyboard plugged in. If for some reason your MIDI is not working, and this is kind of a bugger in Pro Tools, if somebody has turned MIDI through off, your MIDI's not going to work. The Akai pad won't work, the keyboard won't work. So make sure MIDI through is on. It's kind of a secret. I'm going to make myself a click track so that I have something to listen to. Kind of trying to feel the tempo of the video. Let's try that. We don't have to keep this window open. We can flip over to the edit screen, put this track into record. I'm going to want a 2-measure count off. You want to have the conductor off so that you can use the metronome setting up here. MIDI merge, doesn't matter. I do want the metronome on. This is about a minute long, so I'm going to lay down a little sequency track here. Go in here and quantize it. Quantize, remember, we right-click on it. Go down under Event Operations, hit Quantize. These again are 1/8 notes. So hit Apply, just for fun. Put a stereo aux input on there. Send this to bus 1 and 2. Bus 1 and 2. Let's put a delay on it. Okay, so I recorded that MIDI track, and just to make it sound a little more interesting before we go, I put a send on it, and on the send I'm putting a delay. I've set it to ping pong, which means that it bounces from left to right rather than both channels the same. I clicked on beat per minute, which allows it to now use the time of the rhythmic values of the metronome rather than milliseconds, so that the repeating pattern in the delay will be locked to the beat. I turned the feedback up a little bit so that the number of repetitions of the delay was a little higher than it was in the default setting. That's without the delay. That's with the delay. So I've got the instrument, I've got the delay. I'm going to do one more thing before I go real quick. I'm going to create another track, this time a MIDI track, that I'm going to go over here and connect to channel 1 of the reactor. What I want to do is basically sweep the cutoff so that there's a little bit of activity on the synth sound rather than just static all the way through, just to make it a little more interesting. In order to do that, I'm going to right-click on the filter cutoff knob and go MIDI and OSC learn. OSC is Open Sound Control. And I'm going to reach over to the Akai, which has some knobs on it, and I'm going to twiddle the knob, the one that's easiest to reach. And by moving the knob, it will automatically latch to the cutoff knob in the synth. So I can use this knob to record onto this MIDI track. The knob moves as I play this down from the top. So I'm going to need to have my metronome back again so I can hear my count off. I'm going to go into record and use the knob on the Akai to manipulate the filter cutoff. It'll make the synth sound kind of swell, get brighter and darker sounding.